Top stories for today consist of the Steam Summer Sale, the new Pokémon Go Legendary Raid, as well as Microsoft and Nintendo teaming up to produce an ad that really sticks it to Sony. All in today's News You Missed, the video game news show that recaps video game news that came out that might potentially affect the video game industry and you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have much else to say, so I suppose we'll just jump right into the news. First things first, we have 2018's Steam Summer Sale now live. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of year where everyone's wallet gets a little bit lighter. Whether or not you're planning on buying games, oftentimes when people see how cheap video games are on Steam, games that they've been eyeing or wanting, they end up spending the money. It can be a game from the past, it can be a game that's a more recent modern title. All titles are usually on sale for, at some way, shape, or form, a price cut. Whether it's 10% or 75% or up to 90%. I've seen games that are cheaper than a person's lunch. So, to say the least, you're probably going to pick up some games. And whether you play them or not doesn't really matter, you're going to get them real cheap. Some standouts here in the article list Ni no Kuni 2 for $36, also Ark Survived for $20, Nioh for $30, as well as Crypt of the Necrodancer for $3. There's a couple others that this site lists, and of course there's tons of games on Steam that you can check and do yourself personally, so be sure to be aware of that. Save up a little bit of cash and make sure you save yourself a bunch of money rather than buying them full price. So, we're talking about PC games still, and marketing spyware was caught in PC games, but the makers don't like that label. Why would they? Of course they reject that label. Basically, it's called Red Shell, and what it does is it tries to recover and figure out where players are coming from if they are buying a game, playing a game from a marketing campaign. They have that software built in to figure out where these people are coming from. I don't know the minor details of this. They state that no data has been sold to a third-party service or anything like that. No information from people's browsing devices or anything like that, but I don't know if you can trust any type of company. At the end of the day, the games that are affected include games like The Elder Scrolls Online, Conan Exiles, as well as several other major games. It's pretty serious, so if you'd like to know about this and try to figure out if you consider it spyware or not, I mean, they basically said that it's really just some under-the-hood analytics to help them understand how advertisements perform, but again, you're trusting a company that has put spyware or software that you didn't know about in their games. Whether it's spyware or not, it's really up to you to let that continue running on your system. Apparently, a coder has spent 1,200 hours piecing together Diablo source code. Yeah, so old companies, oftentimes, they've lost their source codes for games. Whether you agree or believe that it's hidden somewhere or just put away, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, a lot of game developers, they don't put out their source code, so we never get the source code for a lot of games. This happened with Blizzard's Diablo, and this individual took sources from different locations. From the PlayStation disc, there was a file that he was able to lift off and piece together from other leaks online to put together Diablo source code. He talked about it and said that it was hastily put together. It was rushed at the end. It looks like the multiplayer was a hacking job, and there's a lot of quirks and glitches and problems with the source code. It was Blizzard's first game in the series, Diablo, so I'm not really shocked that it's a little bit sloppy there. It's interesting to see the source code come through because now a lot of people will be able to do a lot of things with this, including updating it to run on modern systems a lot easier. Diablo is a game that runs pretty well on a lot of systems, but as computers progress and operating systems update, it's going to become harder and harder to run these old titles on there. So it's really nice to see someone put this together. He doesn't know if Blizzard's going to DMCA him or not because at the end of the day, it is their source code and not his. But we'll have to see what's going to end up happening with this. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds Event Pass has been met with huge player backlash. Very similar to the way that a lot of people don't like season passes on games or DLC or anything is coming up that's going to cost $10. Now, you know what? It doesn't even matter what they include because people are just upset at the fact that a lot of people have already contributed so much money to PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. They said that they've made about $730 million already, and yet the game isn't optimized for cheaters. It's rampant, really nasty with hacking and stuff like that. Crates are locked behind keys. piece and even charging $30 for the game itself. Now they introduced the $10 Event Pass, which kind of seems very similar to what Fortnite's doing. Aren't they suing the makers of Fortnite? Well, anyways, I guess you can't really prove copywriting DLC practices. Anyways, how do you feel about the Event Pass? Do you think PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds should be charging for it, or do you think it should be free? So Pokemon Go's new legendary raid stars Gen 3's Regice. Yeah, so if you were looking to get yourself the Regigolems, you're probably going to be able to be doing that pretty recently. Which leads me to think the inevitable Gen 4 is going to be introduced very, very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, I can almost guarantee you Gen 4 is coming up because we've already had the introductions of the Gen 3 legendaries Kyogre and Groudon as well. So what's next? The Regigolems, and then what? We don't really have anything else. So there you go. The Legendary Golems are going to be the next ones coming up in the Legendary Raids. So, speaking of Pokemon, we had another individual out there that I know that I somewhat associate with. I see him on Twitter. I see his posts. Pretty cool. This guy is building all of the gym leaders in some personal art. He has Lieutenant Surge here listed, and he's already done Brock and Misty as well. I said I would give him a shout out because his art's pretty cool, and I think this is pretty nice art. So if you're interested in seeing what he has going on, I suggested that he did speed art of these, so you might be able to see that over on YouTube or Twitch, or maybe he'll make a short speed art Twitter video. So there you go. I think it's pretty cool what he's doing. I like projects like that. There is also a unique and interesting Switch device that allows you to play games in handheld mode, portrait mode. Although, unless the game actually supports it, you're just going to be doing this while the game's going to be sideways. So, not exactly the best and most ideal solution here. Basically, there are games out there that do support portrait mode and look really, really nice when you're playing them in portrait mode. So, the problem is that you can't hold the thing like a Game Boy or anything. The controls are on the side, not on the top and the bottom. What ended up happening is that this Kickstarter has come out, and you can support the Kickstarter for $12 for one or $24 for two. And these are called Flip Grips. So I'll go ahead and link it in the description below. It basically turns your Nintendo Switch into a portrait mode kind of game. So there you go. If that's something you're really interested in, make sure to check into the Kickstarter. Make sure they'll actually deliver on their promises. So, Nintendo and Microsoft team up for a surprising Minecraft ad, and Sony is completely left out. Shocker! I wonder why. Because Sony won't let anyone crossplay with their systems. Yeah, there's a big Twitter ad. There's an ad on YouTube. If you watch it, you can see that Sony is not even mentioned. I'm curious why Android and iOS aren't mentioned. I don't think they're shutting them out for any specific reason, but this is a slap in Sony's face. A big right in their face, because they're definitely not here. And I mean, they do have Minecraft. So the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox are being shown playing Minecraft, and they keep saying better together, survive together, obviously touting crossplay. This is very good news for the gaming industry, and I never thought I'd see the day where Microsoft was cooperating with Nintendo, but here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's a massive, massive surprise. It's very interesting too, because the former Sony CEO also stated that the reason there is no crossplay with Sony is not because of their BS excuse, but rather because they want more money. It's not really a surprise if you're forced to buy a PlayStation because your friends have PlayStations to play with them, then you will buy a PlayStation instead of getting an Xbox and cross-playing with them. I don't know what else to say. I think the game itself and the console itself should lead to sales. For example, you're going to want to play Minecraft on the Switch after seeing someone playing it, and then you own it on the Xbox, and you say to yourself, yeah, but I can take it anywhere I want on the Nintendo Switch. And maybe at some point in time, you're going to be able to cross the maps over too, so you're not even going to lose data or time. That would be a massive, massive selling point for sure. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, Protomario, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of News You Missed. If you did, leave me a big thumbs up. If you didn't, leave me a thumbs down and tell me what I can do better in the comments below. And hopefully you'll click that subscribe button on my journey to 1 million subscribers. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take it away, Handcard Slate.